Okay, we are just getting rolling here. Gonna make sure this is all working on my end before we get going. And then I'll start talking about what is coming up. Okay, gonna make sure this is working. Make sure the audio is going good. Okay, hello everyone. I see some of you guys hopping on. We're going to do a bit of a live weather update tonight, and we're also going to look at some snow totals that fell across the area. As you can see, we're looking at this graphic put out by the Weather Prediction Center, and they are calling for the potential of a significant freezing rain event in parts of Washington and Oregon later this week, Thursday evening into Friday. And I think the areas where it's going to be the most severe is down by the gorge down here on the Washington-Oregon border. But there is also potential for freezing rain up and down the I-5 corridor, even out towards the coast on Thursday evening into Friday morning. It looks like the Friday morning time frame is probably going to be the most impactful. But just wanted to show you guys a little bit of footage that I shot this morning out in Linden, Washington. That's my buddy Randy Small standing next to a 5-foot tall snowdrift. Really impactful snow out there. This video actually sold to ABC News, NBC News, the Weather Channel, and Fox Weather. So made it around. Look at that bird hanging out there in the snow. That's crazy. Okay, so let's take a look at snow totals here. Gonna adjust this just a bit here for you. There we go. Okay, so snow totals varied greatly across the area. The models actually did pretty good with that rain-snow line. The National Weather Service had the winter storm warning for areas further south just in case that the models were overdoing the scouring of the air. But if we take a little bit of a closer look, we can see that even as far south as areas like Linwood, right there, that is a 5-inch report there in Linwood. And part of that is the rain-snow line. It didn't quite go that far west. It more extended towards the east. It was really interesting. I made a diagram. I forgot to upload it for this video, but the tongue of warm air kind of came up like this towards eastern Lake Stevens, up towards Granite Falls, and then down here. And as you can see, we don't have all that many snow reports here. It'd be awesome if we had some more snow reports coming in from like Sultan, Gold Bar. My buddy Michael Snyder was just talking about how he wishes there was more reporters of trained spotters out there with the cocoa raws and stuff like that. This right here is my report from Lake Stevens. Location in West Lake Stevens. Got 3.2 inches at my house in West Lake Stevens, although the dot showed up there in Lake Stevens. 3.5 in Everett. But let's look at some of those bigger snow totals real quick. Yeah, look at this. There's a 9.6 inch report out there by Seebeck, but then just a couple miles away, which can be the case, there's 5 inches. And I think something that I want to really hammer home is that snow totals vary greatly depending on where you are in Washington State. There could be bigger snow totals like, I don't know why this map is being all goofy. 1 second, I'm going to refresh this page. There could be bigger snow totals just like a couple miles away from you than what you had, or you could add like multiple inches more than a report that you see near you. What the heck is going on with this map? Jeez. All right, I'm just going to scroll around on it like this. So there in Monroe, 4.8. Scrolling up further, looks like over in Chimacum got 2.3. Up in Port Townsend got 4.1. Across South Whidbey Island, pretty consistent, 2 inches. Out towards Williamp Lake, 4.5, and then just a little bit to the west, 2.5. Look at this, Marysville, the report of 5 inches, and then just a little bit to the east, 2.4. And Arlington, pretty consistent, 3.5, 3.2. I saw some pretty big reports out here by Lake Goodwin, but there's not been any official reports. And so if you got like a measurement of snow out there in Lake Goodwin, I would encourage you to become an official snow reporter, become a trained observer. Stanwood, report of 5 inches out there by Darrington, a report of about 6 inches of snow. The central part of Whidbey Island got some more snow, about 5 inches reported in Coopville, just a little bit to the west, 3 inches. See, look at that, varying. Oak Harbor got 6 to 8 inches out there. Out in Port Townsend, got 2 to 4 inches reported out there. Around Squim, about 3 to 5 inches. And then a bunch of varying reports out there by Port Angeles, 11 inches, 10, 12, really big snowfall out there. And look at this, way out in Nia Bay, 12.5. The models nailed that. Then look how much snow fell out on the San Juan Islands. It would have been so much fun to be out there. 9.5 inches there in East Sound. 12 inches reported in Roche Harbor. 12 inches almost reported in Friday Harbor. 8.5 down there in that island there. 10.4 in East Sound. Looks like Sneeush, 8 inches. Anacortes got a bunch of varying reports. Look at how much snow totals can vary in just a small area. Man, this map drives me crazy. 7 inches, 5.5, 7. Not quite sure why it's doing this. 1 second. Be patient with me, guys. I am just trying to make this map not dumb. For some reason it's being dumb. I'm going to refresh it one more time. I don't know if there's like a million people using this page or what, but it's not working for me right now. So I will refresh this one more time, and if it doesn't work this next time around, I'll go on and I'll talk about the next things. Yeah, it's just not wanting to work for me. My bad, guys. Here, maybe if I go to Facebook and click on the link that I shared there just a minute ago. Oh, look at that. I'm live. Crazy. That looks better. Stupid map. Okay. Yeah, this map is completely glitching out at the moment. Not functioning well. Okay, anyways, snow totals varied greatly across the area. That's the biggest thing that I want to nail home. I'm going to try one more time. Never give up, as they say. Unless you're doing a live stream for a bunch of people and it's not working. All right, whatever. You can kind of see here on this map. Went from about 6 to 8 inches over there in Anacortes, 8 to 12 out there in areas by Cedar Woolley, up there kind of on the hill, just to the south of Bellingham. And then over by Bellingham, there was some snow reports of 12 to 18 inches. And then way up there by Semiahmoo, there was a report of 15 inches up there. So if you want to click on this link and look through the snow totals yourself, you can. Maybe it'll work for you. I don't know why it's not working for me right now. So anyways, looking at what's coming up in the models here. This is looking at the Namthercam. I wanted to show you guys just how cold it could get over the next couple of days. And this is just going to give us a general idea. So tonight, temperatures across the I-5 corridor are going to vary a bit, but down in areas like Tacoma, it can get down to about 26. Seattle can get down to 25. Everett, 23. In areas east could get just a little bit colder. Up in Skagit County could get down to the teens. The Fraser River outflow is still going. Could get really cold out there in the San Juan Islands. And up there in Whatcom County can get quite chilly. And then tomorrow, the highs are not going to be very warm. It's not going to get out of the 20s for a lot of the I-5 corridor. Up there in Whatcom County, it could stay really dang cold. Eastern Washington, of course, is just locked in the freezer. But then watch this. Watch what happens as we go into Wednesday night. And part of the reason why is because we're going to have some more high pressure, Arctic high pressure come down into eastern Washington. As it does that, it's going to increase a gradient across the Cascade Mountains. And let's make sure this is lined up so that you're seeing it good. Sorry, guys. I'm a little bit exhausted after the last 24 hours, so if I seem a little bit off my game, that is probably why. There we go. So as that gradient increases across the Cascade Mountains, there's going to be increased easterlies, and these easterlies are going to suck cold air through the gaps. So notice right there, I'm going to point out this area. Okay, so here, 6 p.m., it has it getting down to 22 degrees by 6 p.m. in Everett. Areas like Lake Stevens, it has getting down to 18 by that time. And as you go further east, it's even cooler. But watch this corridor right here, how it gets steadily. Yeah, watch that corridor right there as it gets steadily colder into the night. See that narrow corridor of like colder temperatures? Look at that. I'm not totally sure if it's going to get quite this cold, but it definitely could. 10 p.m. it has it getting down to like 11 degrees in places like Sultan, Monroe, Everett, and then areas just to the north of it are a little bit warmer, quote unquote, in the upper teens. Up in Whatcom County, still single digits. And then we also got those really cold temperatures coming out of the I-90 corridor. And the reason for this is because as those easterly gradients set up across the Cascades, it's going to suck some of this really cold air that's damming up against the Cascades. It's going to suck some of it through the gaps into western Washington. So look at that. Look how cold it could get. And then as we go into Thursday morning, when you wake up on Thursday morning, it is going to feel chilly. We could possibly even see some areas get to the single digits in places like South Snohomish County, places like North Bend, down in Enumclaw, you're going to get some of those enhanced cold. Down here by Vancouver, it's going to get really chilly. And I want to click on what the wind chills could possibly be. Look at some of these wind chills. The wind chill in Everett at 6 a.m. on Thursday could be -2. Go like a little bit further to the east in Monroe, -7. Look at the... It's just frigid. The wind chills out in eastern Washington, wind chills of around -30 degrees. So yeah, it's going to get really cold, and this is all ahead of a potential freezing rain event. Yeah, and then the high on Thursday is probably not going to happen until late in the night for most areas. But by like 4 p.m., we could still be locked in the freezer big time. Like Thursday is going to be a really cold day, one of the coldest days we've had around here in a while. And to show you guys what the wind gusts look like as that gradient sets up, show you guys the pressure gradient first. So there's that pressure gradient right there developing over the Cascades as the high pressure comes into eastern Washington. Pretty dang high pressure. Look at that. The NAM 3KM is showing 1052 millibar high coming down into eastern Washington. That's really impressive. Sustained winds of about 25 knots being sucked into western Washington. It could be overdoing that just a bit. Look at that outflow it brings to Whatcom County. Potentially 50 plus mile per hour gusts up there. And then boom, big easterly winds sucking cold air into western Washington. Starts tomorrow evening. The Fraser River outflow really gets going again tomorrow, Wednesday morning. And then yeah, just pretty crazy winds going on there. Okay, so now looking at the NAM 3KM, this is what we could potentially be dealing with. So maybe a little bit more snow tonight. By the way, I forgot to show you guys, there is some snow falling out there in places like Cedar-Woolley. It looks like, yeah, Cedar-Woolley, Burlington, getting a bit of snowfall there. It's actually kind of focusing right there. It's kind of banding. And then we got more snow heading towards Whidbey Island. I might actually hop in my car to intercept this band right here, drive north a little bit, try to rush this live stream. And then we got some more snow coming in down there by places like North Bend, Bering. But anyways, the Euro showed that tonight with some light accumulation. And then as we go later into the week, it shows precip moving into the area. And for some areas, it starts off as snow potentially, maybe from about Everett north. Even Seattle could start off as snow. But many areas, it begins off as just rain. And the reason for this is because we lose our upper air trough. And I'm going to open a new tab here and show you exactly what I'm talking about there real quick. We lose our cold air aloft. So right now we got this cold Arctic trough that's over top of us right now. But then as we go into Thursday and Friday, you see how it's replaced? That purple and blue is replaced with that red color. That is a ridge coming right over us. And as that settles over us, watch this. Watch what happens. I'm going to take a sounding for right here by Olympia. We got really cold air locked at the surface, 25 degrees, but then you go up just like 2,000-3,000 feet and it gets above freezing, above the surface. And then by the time you get up to about maybe 6,000 feet, 7,000 feet, it goes below freezing again. So it could start off as falling as snow, and then it's going to fall into a layer that is above freezing. It's going to melt those snowflakes. And then as those snowflakes become super cold raindrops, it's going to fall into that shallow freezing layer right at the surface. And when it hits the surface, it's just going to instantly freeze, potentially. So, yeah, it could be really nasty on Thursday into Friday, depending on how this plays out. There's a chance that maybe the system will scour out the cold air faster than what the models show. Places like Whatcom County could stay snow for a longer amount of time. And eastern Washington might deal with some of this in the southern part of the state, but the rest of the state looks like either no snow or some snow. Looks like most of the state is going to see at least some snow at some point. With the exception of the coast, most likely starting off as either rain or freezing rain, and from about Seattle south, freezing rain. And what it's showing for totals is, look at this. Hopefully this doesn't verify, but right now the European model is showing around almost a ½ inch of accumulated ice. And again, this is not just some models throwing out some outputs. The Weather Prediction Center is calling for potentially significant freezing rain possible Thursday into Friday. And it gives areas from about Seattle down to Portland around a 70% chance of at least a 1/10 of an inch of ice. And that might not sound like a lot, but even just a 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulated on a road turns roads into like ice rinks. So just, I guess the biggest message I want to get across is beware that starting on Thursday evening and especially Friday morning, there could be very, very significant impacts to travel. The European does show this starting off as snow a little bit, like right down there by Olympia, then it instantly turns over to, not instantly, but quickly turns over to freezing rain. After that, doesn't really accumulate any snow in areas like Seattle. Accumulates a little bit of snow from about Everett north, and then it accumulates more snow from Mount Vernon north to Whatcom County. Looking at what the NAM 3KM is showing for this real quick, I want to show you guys kind of the progression that it shows. It starts off in the very far southwest corner of Washington as snow at 3 p.m. on Thursday. By 6 p.m., more snow is moving up towards Olympia. The easterly winds are still going to be going, so that could be eating some of the snow too. And then by 8 p.m., more snow spreading up towards the northwest Washington coast. And then you see here there's a bit of a switch over happening. This could be in the form of sleet. Going to pull a sounding right here. You can see that warmer air loft is beginning there, but could be developing some sleet. That is just a crazy sounding. Jeez. But then as we go further into Thursday night into Friday morning, it begins the switch over in Tacoma to freezing rain by about 4 a.m. So right around commute time on Friday is when this freezing rain event could happen. And we don't really have freezing rain totals from this model just yet, but we can see what it's thinking just for that short amount of time. Look at that, down in places like Long Beach and the hilly communities there, ½ inch already by 4 a.m. on Friday of freezing rain out there on the coast. It could just be really nasty. But this model is also showing some snowfall accumulations ahead of the event from about Tacoma northward. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on how this event unfolds. It probably has some bust potential. Like, I think in this case, we almost want to hope that this busts. Because freezing rain is the worst. It really is. And if enough of it accumulates on trees, it'll snap trees. Up in Whatcom County once I saw an ice storm where like 2 inches of ice accumulated on power lines and trees, and it just snapped them like twigs. And then after that event on Thursday, there it is right there. So that's Thursday into Friday's event. Look at this. So there's Thursday into Friday's event, and then not too far behind it, starting later in the day. Sorry. Okay, so that event goes through. And then on Saturday, another powerful storm comes through. It raises snow levels. And I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see this better. I'm just going to go to regional. but basically has us getting into a really stormy pattern after this. It's going to warm things up. So yeah, look at this. This would kind of stink. Raises snow levels a whole bunch on Saturday. Tons of rain. Could melt some snow. Get pretty gusty, and then just continues bringing rain through the area. It's funny how just a little bit ago the Climate Prediction Center was calling for drier than normal conditions throughout the rest of December, but that has quickly switched. So we're going to come out of a colder pattern and enter into a pretty stormy pattern. See the gusty winds right there on Saturday, and then more gusty periods. And then looking at 24-hour precipitation totals. So there's Thursday and a Friday system, and then there is Saturday's storm. Look at that. It brings about almost 1.5 inches of rain to places like Seattle, about 2 to 3 inches to the coast, about 2 to 4 inches to the Cascades, and then as we go through next week, it's just wet and windy. So we're coming into an active period is what it's looking like. And the Climate Prediction Center for later this month is actually starting next week is calling for above normal temperatures for pretty much the whole entire western half of the United States. And look at this, way above normal precipitation is likely on the west coast. So all right, let's see where that snow is at. That's currently... All right, go ahead and heart this post if you want me to go intercept that snow coming in real quick. And get a live stream going. I see a Stars Party Challenge was started over on Facebook. Basically, the audience has been challenged to send stars in the next 5 minutes. Thank you, though, to all of you guys sending stars. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Cheryl, for the stars. Okay. Anyways, folks, I don't think I'm going to take a lot of time to answer questions. I'm going to go get myself in a little bit more snow, just because I can't help myself. And I know how much you guys like watching snow live streams. Over on YouTube, let's see. Oh, look at quite a few of you guys over on YouTube. Hello. I'm glad you guys enjoyed this live stream last night. You guys rock. Okay, guys, I think... Yeah, just pay attention to the National Weather Service and what they're putting out. We can take a look at the language they're using real quick for the freezing rain. There is still winter storm warnings issued for the mountains, and there is a winter storm watch issued for southwest Washington. And we can look at what that watch is real fast. I'm going to move this over so you can see it. Winter storm watch. When Thursday morning through Friday morning, what heavy mixed precipitation possible. Snow totals of up to 1 inch. Ice of up to 1/10 to 1/2 of an inch possible. Ugh. Power outages, tree damage are possible due to the ice. Travel could be difficult. The hazardous conditions could impact Thursday afternoon commute. And then also want to just talk about the gorge real quick. Where we have a winter storm watch there. For the same time period, Thursday afternoon through late Friday night, mixed precipitation, freezing rain, snow, light snow accumulations less than 1/10 of an inch, or less than 1 inch rather. However, ice accumulations around 1/10 of an inch is still possible. And yeah, there's definitely a chance that the gorge could get even more freezing rain than other areas. And there's also a chance that freezing rain could get locked up in places like North Bend and the valleys there by Sultan and whatnot. Okay, guys, I'm going to hop in the car and I'm going to go grab a little bit of snow and get another live stream going. But thanks for hopping on with me. Sorry I'm not answering too many questions. I just wanted to make sure you guys were in the loop. But thanks to everybody sending stars. Really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone over on YouTube watching too. By the way, if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and heart this post if you love snow. Go ahead and wow this post if you hate snow. And for those of you on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe if you like this content, and I will talk to you later.